Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, you?
Good. I forgot to do my handle for homework.
Well, I did mine. I only cut mine out today, and I did it this morning. I
Oh,
did it.
okay.
You're a bad girl then.
Well, I did everything else. I'm just trying to figure out my view here. Why are we not popping up on the other side? Oh, it's right here. Okay.
This morning, I
Oh,
did it.
there we go. The sound's working there. I did everything, and then I just realized we need this top handle done. So I'm just doing it really fast.
You do it fast.
Yeah. Let's see if it's time for other people to pop in too. So, yeah.
So don't say anything.
Don't say anything. Is my sound okay?
Yep.
Good. Okay, I think I have everything set up. Looks like there was an update on the just kind of playing with this view here for a second. For some reason, it has a whole other little window here for people popping in, and I don't know why. I'm just playing with it for a second. Maybe if I don't want
You
gallery.
do that.
I'll do that. Multi-speaker maybe. No. Speaker. That's me. Oh well, it'll stay like that. I don't know what it's doing. Okay. And you're sewing with me today, Diane? Yay! Yeah, I wonder what my Zoom is like that. It's a really weird window that you're up in there. I don't know why. Something on my end anyways, so
I don't know.
I don't know either. Dawn is our Zoom champion, but I don't know if she's coming on today or not, so.
You busy?
Pardon me?
Is she busy?
She's been busy, yeah. Alrighty. Okay, let's get these cameras all working well. Come
Is there
on.
just me and you?
So far, yeah, we'll give it, what time is it? I don't even know. It is,
I don't have my watch on either.
oh, it's just 3 o'clock right now, so we'll give it a few to see who pops in. Okay, I need to mute this. Oh my gosh. I actually lost track of time. I thought it was an hour earlier than it was. And at about 1:45, my son comes upstairs and he's like, "Don't you have class today?" I'm like, "What time is it?" He's like, "It's 2:45, Mom." I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh shit.
Exactly. But that's okay. Okay. Of course, I'm doing it a double-sided strap, so it was extra work. I'm just going to go quickly stitch this, and then I'm set.
You go.
I'll go. And then hopefully we'll get a couple more people in here.
I'll finish cutting out my pockets.
Sounds good. Hi, Rhonda. How are you? I see Rhonda popped in there. All right. Now that everybody has seen my back, and I did that really good, really fast. That's good. My strap is done. Rhonda, are you going to pop into Zoom? Okay, now to clear off my table because I've been working on the secret project today. Mm-hmm. Okay, almost there. Let me just... There we go. Put a reminder to my admins in case they want to pop in. I'm still cleaning up from what I've been working on all day. I said I just took that little bit of a 45-minute to an hour break, lost track of time. And now I'm running around with the chicken with my head cut off. I did have my machine threaded though. I was ready for that.
That's one good thing.
That's a good thing, yeah. Oh, that's okay, Rhonda. Glad that you're watching, even though you're not on Zoom. Excited to see what you make yours out of when you make it. We have quite a few people that have messaged me after the fact that are making this. They just may or may not be in the live class. So, all right. So last time we had Frankie in here too. We'll give Frankie a couple minutes and see if she pops in. Dawn is headed to the ladies' room and then she'll be right here. She just messaged me.
She didn't put her Depends on today?
Not today. She'll watch that back and be like, oh my gosh, Diane. That's funny. But that's all right. Gives me a moment to kind of play with the Zoom thing because I do not know what it is doing. Okay, I got my participants. I'll put you over here. Just my view is all funky. We'll see what happens when Dawn comes on. Show grid view. I guess we will just see. No, that's not what I want. There we go. Okay. This is a really fast sew, Rhonda. It's a really fast and satisfying sew. It's a great one to get your bag making sojo back with, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll just wait a few more minutes for Dawn and maybe Frankie, and then we'll get started. Gives me another chance to kind of clean up my hot mess here. I'm out of control. So Dave and I are doing an adventure. I'll just share this with the whole YouTube world. We are going to Vancouver second weekend in September to see my brother and sister-in-law. And we were originally going to drive, but driving in Vancouver is no fun. No fun at all. I mean, it's only a 3-hour drive, 3.5 hours there. But flights for WestJet, there's a flight that went on for $108 each way. So we're like $200 each way. I mean, we would spend that in gas, right?
Yeah.
So I said to Dave, can you take an extra day off? Because if we go on the Thursday and come back the Sunday, this is the price of that. It's the ultra basic WestJet fare. So we looked at the itinerary and yeah, we have connecting layovers in Calgary going the opposite direction from Vancouver. But we figured, hey, this is going to be an adventure. It's going to save us money. It's going to take 5 hours to get to Vancouver, which it probably would have taken 5 hours to get to my brother's place, who is downtown Vancouver anyways. And we won't have to worry about traffic and wildfires. Yeah, and getting stuck behind floods just because we have so many natural disasters happening in our area right now, where like the Coquihalla got closed down for like 3 hours the other day. And it's like, we could have been trapped behind that, right? So we're going to leave on September 5th, which is a Thursday, I think. We leave here at like 3 in the afternoon and we get to Vancouver at 8:30 in the evening. So we get to fly to Calgary and we have a 2-hour layover there. So we're going to have supper in Calgary at the airport and then get back on. Because we got the ultra basic fare, we may or may not be sitting together, but that's okay. We see each other every day, so it's funny. So yeah, that's what I was doing and what I lost track of time on, because I was talking with him while he's at work and trying to book these flights before the sale goes away. And I think it's just because they're trying to fill up these flights right now. And we're like, yeah, so it's gonna be funny. And still coming on the way back, same thing. We get to go to Calgary, but it's only like a 45-minute layover rather than 2-hour layover. So we'll have breakfast there and it'll be funny. Rhonda says driving in Vancouver is horrible. Never mind all the construction you run to. I know. And my brother is right downtown. Like he's right at False Creek across from Granville Island. And they are doing so much construction around the off ramp and the bridge around there that it's just no good. So Yeah, so we're going to have a date that Thursday and that Sunday in the air. But we may or may not be sitting with each other, so
Oh well.
it's all good. All good. All right, what time is it? I need to get a clock in here, that's for sure. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Are you joining us on Zoom today? Okay, now I got to get my bearings about what I'm doing today. Right, the Susu Sling. Now this is one that's kind of different to follow along with because there's no pictures. The way Siah wrote it was that you follow along with her video. So yeah, I don't mind that. I'm good at just reading and going. But usually I have the pictures that kind of make it so I don't go off too much. So I know, Diane, you have made this one before. So if you notice me forgetting something,
I've got my instructions here.
You got your instructions there as well. Perfect. Good times.
Yes, I did make one.
Because you have made them. Let me grab mine so I have it. 1 second. Oh, you can see all my mess back here. This is me filming tutorial stuff. I just threw it all on this side. So excuse my mess in the background.
Here's mine.
Oh, that's pretty. I love that webbing. Hi, Dawn.
I do.
Yay. Dawn had a weekend of partying, so I'm sure no, she just went to conferences. I got a smile. Okay, she hears me. Okay, so we are going to pretty much go stick with the pattern going from, we're going to do the exterior, front and back today. I think that's what we will probably get through. We may or may not get to the zipper panel. We will see. If not, the zipper panel and putting it all together will be next week. I'm pretty sure we're going to have this done next week. Like, it's a really, really fast sew. So I think it will be good. So before we go to tabletop view, if we want to grab out our exterior front top A, let's just grab out all of our pieces now so we kind of have them here. We're not going to do anything with the lining really. We're going to need exterior front top A. Where are we? That's back top. What's this one? Front slip pocket. Let me just kind of get them all in order here. Okay, so we need A, front slip pocket backing B. Where are you? In my other hand. Oops, front slip pocket backing C, sorry. Front flap B. And then I'll put it to tabletop down here in a second. Front slip pocket lining D. I guess I could put it to tabletop down. Let me just quickly do that. Okay, let me just fix that camera. Sorry. It's all set up for doing my tutorials, so my cameras are acting up. 1 sec. And we want it for here. There we go. I didn't have it set up for Zoom. I had it set up for the other program, so it's acting out on me. Rhonda says, is that a sage green, Diane?
Yes, it is. The vinyl or the strapping?
We'll just let her catch up there. Sometimes YouTube is a little bit behind us. There we go. There we go. She's not saying yet. Okay, I'm just going to do one more adjustment here before we get started, just because I'm sorry. I lost such track of time that I am so not prepared. Okay, something's going to sploosh. There we go. Sploosh across the screen. The vinyl, Rhonda says.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay, let me get my cameras all set up here. That can go to the left. This can go to the right. Okay, I think I'm organized. I'm guessing Dawn is working either on sewing some clothes or her tumbleweeds. Am I right?
Clothes.
Hi. What's she working on?
Hi. Clothes.
Clothes. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
I've got this beautiful fabric that a really good friend of mine gave me.
Nice.
Isn't that nice, Brandy?
It's beautiful.
Do you remember where I got that?
That's from me.
Okay.
That was from me and my Indonesia trip.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and make a skirt.
Excellent. Can't wait to see. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody. I'm going to mute you all. I can mute you all from here because I figured out how to do that. And then we're going to get to this exterior. So unmute yourself if you have any questions or need my attention, and we're good to go. Okay, so we need front top A, front flap B, front slip pocket C, or front slip pocket backing C, front slip pocket D piece. Let's try to get these all organized. We want to do all of the front pieces first. Front slip pocket D piece. Okay, and I think that's all we need. I'm hoping I put a magnetic snap in here. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. So we're jumping over the crossbody strap. We should have done that for homework. I haven't done mine. I'm not gonna lie. I just did my handle like a moment ago. So, and we're just gonna follow down the instructions on page 4. So we've gathered everything up on the front slip pocket D. So we'll grab that one out. You'll see there's a little mark right here. We want to mark that on our vinyl. And that is our placement for our magnetic snap. So the part of the bag we are working on is we're doing this snap right there. She does give you measurements as well if you prefer to do a measurement, but I just poked a little hole where that marking is, and I'm going to just use my pen and make a mark. Just like so. And we are going to do the female portion of our snap. That is the piece that has the little indent, not the nubbin piece, but the other piece. So the one that looks like that. So we're going to go ahead and install that as per the manufacturer's instructions. I'm also going to back it with scraps of Deckable Heavy. Look how dirty my table is. I think I almost need a new cutting mat. This one's getting worn out already. So I just use my washer and I put it over that mark, the circle part, and draw my little lines. And cut my slits. You want to make sure this is pretty accurate so it catches later on. We need to know that they're going to match up. And then a piece of heavy stabilizer behind the prongs just to make sure it gives the prongs something extra to grab onto, and then just helps with strength as that'll be used often. All right. Said everything in this pattern, there's nothing really new to learn. It is such a great one to get your sojo on, as I was saying to Rhonda. Fast and satisfying sew. It's a good size bag. I think it'll be great for at markets. We will see when I start market season. I like to take a little piece of Gorilla Tape or duct tape and put it on the back side as well, just to save the prongs from rubbing onto the material with use. And I think it secures it a little bit more, just like so. Did I do it the right way? Yes, I did it the right way. All right. While I'm here, let me clean up my interfacing. I always let my interfacing sit overnight once I've fused it, and then I always forget to trim off all the excess. Always because I kind of rough cut all my interfacing pieces before fusing them. Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to keep going through. Diane, stop me if you need me to stop, or if anybody is watching this and sewing along that hasn't said hi, just make sure you put it in the chat, and then I will know to stop if you have any questions. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to put those pieces aside for now, and then we're going to grab out our front flap. I know, if I remember correctly, this is done a little bit differently. So what we want to do, okay, so this is our flap piece, and what we want to do is we want to kind of fold it in half and then decide which is going to be our front side and which is going to be our back side. Front and using pattern piece. Then we're going to use our pattern piece. So it doesn't really matter. Mine is all the same size. What it is where we put the magnetic snap is going to be, I'll show you. Oopsies. So this is what we're doing. The flap is kind of folded in half. So the snap is going to be on the wrong side, and this is going to be on the right side. So they're both the right side of the vinyl, just one is going to be on the inside side and one is going to be on the other. So you want to decide which side you want it to be on. Again, mine doesn't really matter. And again, we have our little mark here for our magnetic snap. We're just going to lay our pattern piece down. I think I cut mine too big. I'm just going to trim my pattern piece up a little bit because I obviously cut mine slightly too big and we want it to match up. So I'm just going to trim it off. Okay, there we go. Mark where that is going to be, but we are not installing the other half of the magnetic snap just yet. I'm just going to make that mark. And I am also going to go ahead and I'm going to do my slits for that magnetic snap now, so I don't have to do it once we have this all together, because we put it in after the fact. And I need to find, bear with me, I'm missing a washer, so let me just grab another washer quickly. Need a washer, need a washer. Please hold, be right there. There we go. Good thing my hardware is all organized. So all I'm going to do is take my washer and I'm going to do my slips for my magnetic snap, but I'm not going to install my magnetic snap just yet. So I'm just going to do that and cut my little slits. Where did it go? I have a new X-Acto knife and I always look for my yellow one that I lost. I think it fell in the garbage, and then I can never find this one. And I'm just going to do my slits now so I don't have to do it once it's all put together. Okay. Put your magnetic snap aside for now. And then what we're going to do now is we are going to take this, we're going to fold it in half this way, clip the sides. So you're folding it in half, right sides together now. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew down these sides with the seam allowance that's stated in step 5 of the exterior front instructions. Let me switch over to the other machine. Let me know if my mic isn't working. I think I have my microphone all set up. I figured out what my sound issue was. I had 2 mics running at the same time. That's why I was all echoey last week. So got it all figured out. So let me switch there. And then just sew down the 2 sides that we clipped. There we go. So this pattern is great for doing like an applique on the one that would be your front piece, or a some embroidery or something. That would be amazing on this if you wanted to decorate that flap up at all. Okay, now what does she say to do? So now on our flaps here, on each of the corners, without cutting the threads, we just want to kind of cut them up at an angle just to kind of reduce some of that bulk on the corners. You can do the same at the top here. And then we can turn this flap. Of course, I used a pearl vinyl, right side out. This isn't hard to turn out. I am using a super, super thick vinyl, and a glitter vinyl. So if it looks like I'm struggling at all, it's because it's a little bit stickier, but it looks amazing once it's done. Push those corners and those seams out best you can, because then we're going to go and top stitch this. Now, the reason we haven't installed that magnetic snap yet is so we can get, it doesn't stick to the machine bed, right? Sometimes when you're top stitching a flap and the magnet is sticking to the machine bed, and then makes your top stitching all wonky, we just don't like that. Okay, so press out the seams nicely. We're not going to sew the top shut just yet because we still have to install that magnetic snap and our nameplate. So I'm just going to kind of roll those seams between my fingers, make sure these corners are nice and pointy, and then just top stitch the 3 finished sides. Okay, so let's see, yep, just going to top stitch those 3 sides with the seam allowance. You will want to be sure that your bobbin thread is nice, because it will show when people open the flap up. My bottom looks good, and it does. All right. Clean this up a little bit. Oh my gosh, Brandy. Messy, messy, messy. Bits of everything everywhere. All right. There's my right side. There's my wrong side. Now we're going to go ahead. And that's why we did the slits already, because I just found it was easier to do this now with the slits already in rather than kind of going blind at some points. I'm still going to install a scrap ejectable heavy behind it. This is a little more awkward to close those prongs up, but it just helps get that nice top stitch and not have it sticking to your machine. So again, we don't want to make sure it's not going through the front. We're just doing this through the back. So I'm going to stick it in through those cuts that I did. I'm going to take my piece of scrap stabilizer and put it over the prongs. Can't really see what I'm doing here. Get in there. What am I doing? Okay, and then don't forget your washer. You can see it in there. And then push those prongs down. Almost got it. Making sure that my prongs are pointing down before I go in it, because I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to put a piece. No. I like to hit mine with the mallet, but you got to make sure your prongs before I hit it, because I'm going to be hitting it through the outside here. Because I don't want it to, there we go, put a hole into there. There we go. So we're perfect. And then we can put our piece of duct tape or Gorilla Tape on the opposite side of the prongs again. Oops, let me quickly put my computer on Do Not Disturb. 1 second. Focus, Do Not Disturb. There we go. Come on, break off. There we go. And then we're going to do our nameplate. I forgot we had to do that today. Do I have a nameplate in here? I sure do. Okay. So the nameplate is also on the flap. So first off, we want to find the top center of our flap so we can get our nameplate nice and centered if you're putting one on. Do a little snip. And then Siah has given us a measurement for it. Let me figure out where it is. In step 8, she gives you an idea, and I'm going to probably do the same placement. My center mark didn't transfer over. Let me do that again. So just want to make sure I'm getting this nice and centered. So I'm going to kind of draw down my center mark here because I'm going to be measuring up from the bottom part here. Is that centered? It is. Okay. And I'm going to use her measurement that she recommends for it. I think I went a little, nope, I did do that. Draw a line, and then that's where I'm going to install my nameplate. So we'll do that quickly. Usually this kind of stuff is homework, but we need this to be done in order to move on. So what are you making today, Rhonda? I know Rhonda's been sewing with her grandkids, so So make sure that you're only doing it through the front part, not through this back part. So, and make sure you're not stabbing your hand as you have it in here as well. Ask me how I know. Okay, I'm gonna grab a wet wipe and wipe away my marks right now. My wet wipes aren't feeding properly. It's making me very sad. And make sure that you're installing it the right way. You don't want to accidentally have this upside down. So this is the right side up right now. This is the bottom of the flap. So we want it to be facing the right way. Oops. Where are those slits I just did? There they are. Grab my washer. And then make sure that's sitting nice and straight. Bang on. And then I'm going to back those prongs with some tape as well. Oh, you're working on the Thursday bag, are you, Rhonda? Nice. Twilight Traveler. I still have to do my homework for that one. That'll be a Thursday morning thing for me. All right, so that is the flap done. Let me just kind of clean up my mess here. Uh-oh, I lost my lid for my... What's it? For my sharp tool here. We'll just put it face down, then it won't stab me. All right. Any questions about that? Reason I'm going matte black with this is because I have this zipper tape that's matte black. It doesn't look like they're the same color, but they are. So I think that's going to look really sharp. All right, so that takes us to now step 9. And what we're going to do is go ahead and baste this opening closed once we have our magnetic snap on and our nameplate. There we go. Isn't that the easiest flap you have ever made? So easy. Okay, I need a drink. All right, so now we are on step 10 of the exterior front. We need our front top A piece. Which is this one? Already with your, I said I'm using Bouncy Firm on mine. You want to have that right side up. Again, there's no pictures, so I actually have to read things. Okay, want to find our top and bottom centers of this piece. I'm trying to hide my little corner of shame here, but I'm not doing a very good job, am I? Okay, so we want this right side up. We want to take our flap with the, I believe it is, magnetic snap up. So you want to have the wrong side of it. So there's the right side, here's the wrong side. We're going to put it along this bottom edge here, matching up that center, and clip that in place. Make sure it is definitely centered. Let me just double check. I'm not quite center. I'll just move it over a little bit more. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to baste this in place. Again, we want to make sure it's definitely centered. And I am. And let's go baste that in place. It's a truly unique way of doing a flap, that's for sure. I likes it. Just like so. And now we are on step 11. We want to take our backing C. Again, we could have done this all in one step, but I'm trying to go with the instructions as she's written them just because there are no pictures to go through. Again, she did write this intended for people to follow along with her video rather than pictures. So because there are no pictures, I'm just trying to give you guys a really good idea of what we are doing here. Okay, so we're going to take this piece and we're going to find our top and bottom centers. Trying not to take too many shortcuts because it is a pretty fast make already. So I can take a little more time, I think. Okay. So this is going to be the pocket back, I think. So if you look inside this bag, you see right here, this is what we're doing right here, this back part. Okay. Did I grab the right thing? Front, exterior front slip pocket. I just want to make sure I grabbed the right slip pocket piece because now I'm second guessing myself. What is this one? Yes, I did, because this one goes with that. Okay. So lay them out like so, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to take this and we are going to put them right sides together. So make sure the curvy part is facing downwards and the straight edge is right up against the straight edge. We're going to flip this up and do it right sides together, centered, and clip in place. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and you are going to sew across that with the seam allowance stated in step 11. And then we're going to pull this down like so once that's sewn, and we're at the machine, we're going to go ahead and we're going to top stitch through the lining side, making sure our flap seam allowance and everything is pointing downwards. Believe it or not, we're almost done the front panel already, you guys. That's how fast this bag is. Okay, and again, we're going to pull the lining down. So our seam is pointing towards the bottom and then top stitch through the lining. I love that I'm working with my favorite color. I can never get enough green. Green, 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 green. Love it. Dexter's knocking at the door. Did you guys hear that? He wants in. Oh, Coco's saying hi. All right. Let me clear this up a little bit. I'm really trying to have a more organized work surface, but as I work, I get messier and messier, so it's all good. All right. That is what we got so far. So this is going to take us to step on backside. Okay, to step 13 on backside. Okay. All right, I forgot about this part. I'm like, what are we doing? So you're going to see in step, where are we? 13. We have a measurement there that we are going to measure up and draw a line on our flap from our slip pocket here. So go ahead and do that with that measurement. With a pen that you can erase, just like so. Make sure it's nice and straight. Has to be straight. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to I know it sounds weird, but we are going to actually top stitch through this, and it is going to go through the back as well. We want to make sure you don't want to go past the top stitching here, so you want to kind of start and stop where our top stitching of our flap starts and stops. So you can see even without pictures how great her instructions are. They're very step by step. Siah is a great teacher. We'll just say that. Okay, so I'm going to put my needle down right where my top stitching is there, and then top stitch this across. Make sure to back stitch. Make sure your stitching stops right where the top stitching of the sides was. Back stitch. All right, so I'm going to mark my pen marks off so it doesn't stain it. So that is making it so we can fold this down. See? Ta-da! Isn't that awesome? All right, so now we're on step 15 of exterior front. We want to grab our front slip pocket and your slip pocket lining. Just going to set this aside for now. And what we're going to do is find your top and bottom centers again. Should have done that before, but I did not. Let go. It's more so this bottom piece that we need that center on later on. Okay. And what we're going to do is take the lining and the exterior piece that we'd already done, and we're going to put them right sides together and clip across the top straight edge. I can tell my cotton shrunk up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to center it on there. It's off by like maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch, and that's because my cotton shrunk a little bit. So I just kind of split the difference and know it's going to get caught in the seam allowance later. Okay, and then we're going to sew across this with the seam allowance that's in step 15 across here, and then bring these wrong sides together, top stitch, and then baste it all the way around. So sew first. Flip these around, wrong sides together, massaging that seam in between your fingers. And I'm going to hold those seams in place with some clips. I just love this green. Whenever I make something in green, I always want to keep it for myself, but I can only have so many bags. Okay, and I'm just going to put a few clips just to hold my layers together around the raw edges. Okay, and I'm going to start with my top stitch, and then I'm going to baste the raw edges all in one swoop. So top stitch that finished edge first. And then baste the raw edges. Just like so. You can see my lining is just slightly smaller because it did shrink, but it'll all get caught in that seam allowance in a moment. Oh my gosh, I'm so thirsty. Okay. So now we are on step 17. So we're going to take our front. We're almost done our exterior front, you guys. And our pocket, we're going to put them nice and centered. Like so, matching up that bottom center. I'm going to put a few clips there. Isn't it cute and tiny? And we're going to clip the sides. They should all match up. The glitter and the light coming down is doing this really weird optical illusion to my eyes. I keep like, what am I seeing? I can't explain. The camera's not picking up what it's doing, but is it ever weird? Almost like, what is it called? A mirage type thing happening over the top. And I'm almost seeing like a pink color, but there's no pink in there. It's so bizarre. Okay, so what we want to make sure is we want to make sure that this is definitely straight. So I'm just going to measure from the top here to the pocket just to make sure it's the same on both sides. I'm a little bit off here. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. That's better. So we don't want a crooked pocket. There we go. Before we baste that, you can also go ahead and fold this down and make sure our snap matches up. Which it does. Looks so good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to baste that pocket on. Thanks. So now this is where if you had that alternate piece X stabilizer, that's when you would have put it on to the back of this. But I am good to go. I think that was everything that I needed. That is our whole exterior front done, you guys. That fast. She looks good. Look good. I want to see Diane's, but I think she ran away. All I see is her tightening her thread. I'll unmute you, Diane, so you can show yours. Just a sec. Oops. Oh, why won't let me unmute you. There we go. That looks good. Perfect. Okay, so we can set this aside, and then we're going to be working on our exterior back. So this is still all on page 4 because they're just written instructions. So now let's gather all the pieces she says to gather. So we need piece E, F. Where's my F? F. Zipper tabs. I forgot there's zipper tabs in this. Oh, I got a exterior zipper pocket lining, which is this, as well as we are going to need some zipper tape. So, oh my goodness. What is Dexter barking at? You'll see in step 1 of exterior back, it tells you how much zipper tape you need. So go ahead and cut that amount of zipper tape. Has to be fairly accurate. And install your zipper pull. So because we are doing zipper tabs, you want to make sure that this is really accurate. Not like me to use colored tape. I'm doing a lot of that lately. Holy. Okay. And put on your zipper pulls as well. I'll show you guys how I do mine in case you haven't seen it before. I think everybody here has. Excuse my messy floor. I use a fork with a, what is this called? A vise. This is my fancy thing that my husband made me. I just put it onto my table. So I have the back side of the fork towards me. I put my zipper pull wrong side up with the roundy part facing up. I take my zipper tape, wrong side up, pull it apart a little, and then put it in until it goes on straight. That's good enough for me. Look at that. I just couldn't bring myself to spend like $79 on a thing to put on my zipper pulls when a fork works just as good. All right. Now we're going to take our zipper tabs.
When I
Jesus,
printed my pattern off, my zipper tab, the measurements didn't come out. Can you tell me what they are, or do I have to look somewhere else?
I can't tell you what they are.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to, but you'll go look. Yeah. Okay. But I know what they are. Sorry. I just can't give out those measurements on camera. So.
That's okay.
It doesn't say there. I don't think it even says. I'll just give Diane a moment there. One sec here. I'm just going to check something while we're waiting for Diane. Diane, I'm actually shooting you a message with the measurements because I know you have the pattern. So I have messaged it to you. Did it come through?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to take our zipper tape and we're going to take our tabs, put them on the ends like so. And then we are going to put them right sides together with the zipper tape on each end. Center it the best you can. We will be trimming these up. Clip in place. Same with the opposite side. And then we're going to sew across both of those with the seam allowance. It's in step 3 of the exterior back section. And then while we're at the machine as well, once we have those all sewn, we're going to flip the tabs this way with the seams going towards the outside, and we're going to top stitch through the tab. I've lost my mouse. Where are you? There you are. So this is a smaller seam allowance, just so you guys know, to make sure you double check what that seam allowance is. I like to go back over the zipper teeth once. Same with the other side, and then we'll go back in and top stitch those. Now, if these zipper tabs seem like they're bigger than the zipper tape, that's okay. We're going to trim that up here momentarily. Change to a top stitching length with the seam going and down towards the tab like so, and top stitch through the tab. Same with the opposite side. That green zipper tape, it matches perfectly. It was, I think I still got it from, I don't know where I got it from. This might be from Cereal Bag Makers, the colored zipper tape. When I ordered the Bouncy Firm, if I figured if I was ordering stuff from there, Dawn and I actually went in on an order together. So I ordered a bunch of matte black zipper tape that were different colors because we don't really have that option here in Canada much for the colored zipper tape. There are the odd place that you can do it, but I figured if I was ordering it from them, I may as well order some more fun stuff. Okay, so then what we want to do is, you can see how my tabs are bigger than, like wider than my zipper tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim them up so they are the same width. You can use a ruler. I'm just eyeballing it. Be careful not to cut your tape though. Just beside it. Just cutting that vinyl. Same with the opposite side. Just like so. Okay. Now we are on step 6. So we want to grab our exterior pocket bottom, I believe. Yeah. So pattern piece F. Okay, we're going to find our top and bottom centers. Why am I using my giant scissors? Holy moly. We also want to find the center of our zipper tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this in half and match up where my zipper tabs are. I'm going to do it wrong sides together. And I'm going to mark with an erasable pen if I can find it on the wrong side and the right side. Oh, mark it on both sides. Oh, it didn't come through. Just like so. Then along the straight edge here, I'm going to make sure my pull is closing to the left or the right. You can do whatever your preference is. And I'm going to put this, you know what? I'm going to use double-sided tape, you guys. You can use clips. I'm going to use double-sided tape here. Put some double-sided tape along the top of my zipper pocket bottom piece here. Because I said I wasn't going to take a shortcut, but I'm going to take a shortcut. Just because that's what I do. You're going to put these right sides together so your zipper tape backing is looking up at us. Match up that center. Stick it across. I hear barking and sneezing upstairs. Holy. Both boys are home, so. Okay. So you can go ahead and you can baste that in place if you want. I'm going to skip that step. And I'm going to take, what am I taking next? I think it's this. Yeah. And take our exterior zipper pocket lining piece. I just like to do it all in one go. It's just faster. Dogs are being fed and Dexter is very excited right now. Okay. Make sure I got it going the right way. Yep. So you want to make sure it's going the correct way. And you can tell that by how you put your pattern piece down. This is the correct way. If we had it this way, we put our pattern piece down, you can see that is not the right way. So make sure you have it orientated the right way. And I'm going to put more tape along the top. Again, you can use clips and you can pre-baste if you prefer. Oh, I forgot to find my top and bottom centers, so I'll do that quickly. Okay. Let go. Then we're going to take this and we're going to put this right sides together. So we are sandwiching that zipper tape. We're going to make sure it is nice and centered. Like so. Just like that. And then we're going to sew through that with the seam allowance stated in step number 3. So I'm actually going to put my zipper foot on for this so I can get a nice and straight zipper. So you can make sure you double check what that seam allowance is in the exterior back section on page 4, exterior back section 3. So I'm just going to take the moment to change into my zipper foot. I find it's always worth doing that to get a nice and straight zipper, especially because it'll be so visible on the back. We don't want a wavy zipper. But you do want the seam allowance to be very accurate because it needs to end up being the same size as our exterior front. So you can't take too big or too small of a seam allowance here. You want it to be just right. Okay, and I got to move my zipper pull out of the way already, I can tell. Sew across. And yes, our zipper tabs extend over, but that is okay. We'll be taking care of that here momentarily. I'm going to clear that zipper pull. I am. And then what we're going to do while we're here is we are going to, let me double check. I don't want to go rogue. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Sorry, that seam allowance was step 7, not step 3. Okay, I was right. So we're going to push it down like this, and then we're going to top stitch through the lining part. So it looks like so. So you're going to see the back side of your zipper. We're just top stitching through the lining part to keep that seam in place. Do that right. I think I did that right. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did. He was playing with my mind for a moment. Oh, I did that wrong. I'll show you what I did wrong. We should have top stitched through the exterior as well. I only did through the lining, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it over top of it. So you want to, I think we do. Yeah. So yeah, I just top stitched through the lining. That's me going rogue. What I should have done is put these wrong sides together, and then we want to top stitch through here. So easy fix. I'm just going to go ahead and top stitch through there. The joys of being live and making mistakes. Okay, so yes, should have top stitched through the exterior and the lining together. Top stitching, take 2. I knew it felt weird. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Of course, I got 2 lines of top stitching there, but that's okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to flip this over, and I'm actually going to put some tape on the bottom side of the lining piece here. Again, you can clip and baste if you prefer, but I'm using my tape as my basting agent. We're going to take this lining, and we are going to fold it right sides together, and we're going to line this raw edge up with the unsewn side of our zipper tape there. Come on, tape. Okay, so making sure our lining stays nice and lined up still. Bring it all the way to the top and stick it down. So it looks like this. Okay, and then this is our front. Just make sure I don't go too crazy. Where is my top piece? There it is. So that takes us to step 9 on page 5. Okay, then we're going to take our pattern piece E. We're almost done our exteriors, guys. It's crazy how fast this goes. Find your top and bottom centers again. Okay, and you can use clips. I'm going to use tape along the bottom straight edge. I'm going to put some more double-sided tape. We still have our center mark on our zipper here. And we're going to take this, and that straight edge is going to go along the zipper, and we're going to put these right sides together like this. and stick or clip it down. Nice and centered. Again, our zipper tabs are longer, but just make sure we're all lining up. This is going all nice. The two exterior pieces here are nicely lined up. And we'll trim those zipper tabs up here momentarily. Okay. And then we're going to sew across there with the seam allowance stated in step number 10. We're going to flip up this exterior like so and top stitch through the top exterior. Again, make sure you're getting a really accurate seam allowance here. Shift it a little bit. Okay. And then you're going to press this up along that seam. So the seam allowance is going towards the top and then top stitch. Oops, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. There we go. This is what we got. Now you can see where our tabs are hanging out here. You can go ahead and you can just cut them even with the sides like so. Clean that up. And then what we're going to do, your zipper pockets should pretty much line up with the sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to baste along this side and down past where our zipper is. So just about 1/2 inch or so past on each side. And then we can trim off the excess. So just from the top here, from the top of our zipper tabs, baste until about 1/2 inch past this little outy piece of the lining, and same with the opposite side. Whoops. So just follow the shape of the bag from the top of the zipper panel and baste it all the way down. Following that curve. Just past where the lining is, backstitch. Same with the opposite side. Top, backstitch. So this is what it looks like. And then you can see here, we're just going to take our scissors or whatever and just trim that up. Trim off any excess. just like so. And that's our back panel done, you guys. Like, it is that fast. Are you surprised how fast it is done? I know that you were thinking that this was going to be a fast one. So if we've done everything properly, our front and back panels should be the same size, which mine are. And that's why it was very important to get a really accurate seam allowance along there. Dawn says, so fast. Wow. So yeah. So what time do we have now? Oh yeah. We're making good time. I didn't think we'd get to the zipper panels today, but we may as well do the zipper panel. And then next week we'll be putting it all together. So let me clean this up a little bit. You can put these two away, your front and your back. Let me see. Handle and a zipper. Is anybody else doing a vinyl one, or are you doing webbing? I'm doing vinyl. That is my strap. Where is my zipper panel? Back zipper panel. Where is, there it is. Front zipper panel. Let me just reacquaint myself with this one moment. Okay, we're not going to do the handle just yet. If we get to it, we get to it. Otherwise, we'll do it next class. We're going to just do our zipper panels. So you've got your front zipper panel. I'll show you the difference between the two. You can see how narrow my front zipper panel is. And we have a wider back zipper panel because that is where we're going to be attaching our handle to, like this. Okay, so let me just clean up my lining pieces here quickly. We're going to need our zipper tape. Just cleaning up my interfacing. I'm trying to be a really good girl and use up my cotton stash rather than going straight for my waterproof canvas because I feel lazy and don't want to interface. But as I'm using my cottons again, I realize I remember how much fun it is to use the cottons for lining. I do. Okay, so again with doing these, I am going to be using a double-sided tape. Wherever I use double-sided tape, just know that you can do it in more steps and based as well, or use clips. Okay, so let's grab out our zipper. Now what I like to do, I'm just going to take my exterior ones for now. I like to take my zipper and I like to make it longer than my zipper panel, just because I can put my zipper pulls all the way off to the side and they're not going to get in the way of my stitching. So I kind of just add an extra 2 inches or 3 inches on like so. And we're going to go ahead and put on our zipper pulls onto our zipper tape. Again, I'm doing a double zip closure. I think I did that on this one too. I did. What I like about a double zip closure for this is if you put your zipper pull on wrong with the wrong one and you have it closing the wrong orientation that you want, double zipper pull helps you avoid that because it doesn't matter because they will close in both ways. Okay, so I'm going to put my pulls on. I'll show you how I do it different with a double zipper. I've got my handy dandy fork. Where do I put it over here this time? Man, oh man, I don't realize how worn out my table is until I see it on camera. Holy. Okay, so I'm taking one pull, again, wrong side up. One end of my zipper. Slide it on. This doesn't matter too much if it goes on super straight. Oh, but I got it on super straight. Pull it down almost to the end like so. Pull these teeth apart on this side. Then we're going to take our zipper pull, our second zipper pull, put it on our jig or however you do it. And with that opposite end, we want this to go on pretty straight so we don't have a little bubble in between our zipper pulls, but they should be closing towards each other. Can I do it? Oh yeah, first try. Look at that. No little bubble. They go together perfectly. Then what I like to do is just take a clip and put it onto the end of my zipper tape. And that can act as a stop to hold my zipper pulls out of the way without them flying off. Okay, so let's work with our back panel first. I'm going to take my lining right side up. Again, you can use clips if your machine does not like tape. I'm going to put some tape along on one of the long edges of the right side up. Okay. Take my zipper tape also right side up. I'm going to leave a little bit hanging over here and my zipper pulls hanging out this way. That's okay. I'm going to line it up nice and straight. Again, you can clip and baste this if you prefer. Just like so. We're going to take our exterior zipper panel back piece, put some tape along one side. Now, when you do this, you're going to end up wanting to baste all of the sides together. We do not want to do that because we are going to have to attach our handle still. So it'll feel like we're missing a step, and that is why. Okay. We're going to put this right sides together with the tape and the lining, making sure that they line up nicely, sandwiching that tape. They should line up pretty good. Oops, I think I'm a little bit off. Let me recenter that. Again, my cotton fabric shrunk up just a little bit, so I know it'll get caught in the steam allowance. So I'm just making sure it's on there nice and centered, so it'll catch that little bit. Again, I'm off by like a little, see, a little itty bitty bit, but that's okay. Okay, once you have those all in place, we're going to go ahead and sew across here with the seam allowance stated in step. Let me find it. Okay, she started with the front zipper panel. We're starting with the back. That's okay. We're going to sew through there with the seam allowance that is in a step 6. And then we're going to open this up at the machine, wrong sides together, like so. And then we're going to top stitch through here. We are not going to baste the sides of the big one. When we go to do the small one, you can definitely baste the raw edges together, but you don't want to do the raw edges for the large one. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, you want the seam allowance to be fairly accurate because we need it to match the width of our gusset when we go to attach it later on. Okay, and again, you want to press these wrong sides together nice and tight. Sometimes I use tape to do this. This time I'll just use clips to kind of hold it in place nice and tight. Just so I know that they're staying where they need to. You want to make sure your lining is definitely away from that zipper tape. You don't want it to accidentally pop up here without you knowing it, because then your zipper won't open and close. Okay, and this we're just going to top stitch it. Just top stitch. wonder if I'm starting to run out of thread. Might be playing Bob and Chicken here. We'll see. Okay. Just like so. So I'm not going to do the other side just yet. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do that handle because you can go ahead and do this other side for homework if we don't get to it. So let's backtrack a little bit to the handle section still of page 5. We are going to be making some marks on our handle. In step 3, it tells you what those marks are that we're going to measure in from each short end. I'm just going to make sure my thing is nice here. So go ahead and make those marks. I cannot share them with you, but they are in step 3, page 5 of handle a zipper. So again, making sure you're using an erasable pen. Oops. It's the first one. Oh, I see I did this last time. See, I did my top stitching wrong because I panicked. So there's some, when we made this, when we top stitched, I should have top stitched with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and I didn't, but I'm going to make it work. So it has multiple ways of top stitching it. I'm just going to go in beside it. It'll be fine. So to that mark, okay. So we made those marks. So let's pretend that my top stitching was a 1/4 of an inch in here, but it's not. I'm just going to go in beside it at the 16th inch. I think that'll work. Or I might go in just beside it. I'm probably doing mine a little bit opposite what I should because I did my top stitching wrong. But you're going to go up with your top stitching up here, across, and down the other side. And same with the other side. And that's going to create this decorative. I'll show you on this one because I did it properly on this one. Can you see how I got the double rows of top stitching? Because I did it properly on this one. But that's okay. It'll still look good. Is that right? Double check. Feel like I'm missing a step. Oh no, that's right. Mark to mark. Okay, no, I lied. Sorry.
Don't you have to put your D-rings on?
Yeah, no, I'm top stitching the wrong part. So we're not top stitching the side. We're top stitching in the center here, creating a rectangle around the handle. That's the part we're at right here. So you can see here, all the way around there. So we're working on this handle part. Don't worry about the ends. So from this mark to this mark we just did, you're going to go ahead and right beside our other top stitching, pretending my top stitching was a 1/4 of an inch in. I'm actually going to go and do mine a 1/4 of an inch in here now. I'll have to do it different on the edges. So we're just going to go and do that for that decorative top stitching for the handle part. Okay, makes sense? Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is part we don't want to be sewn to the bag because this is the handle. So we're doing the middle of the handle here. And it's just doing some decorative top stitching. I probably could have skipped this part, but that's okay. So I'm actually going in with the seam allowance I should have made my handles with first, just because I rushed through it because I forgot to do my homework. And then back down the other side. But it'll be fine. It'll look exactly the same and only you guys will know. There you go. Beautiful. Can't even tell. Perfect. So see, there we go. Got our decorative top stitching. Now we do want to grab our D-rings right now, as Diane was saying, and we want to slide them up past those marks that we had made because we don't want to forget to put these on. And I need to grab some bigger D-rings. I grabbed the wrong size D-rings. So one moment, please. I must have had the 3/4 inch mixed in with my 1 inch. So again, I'm happy my hardware is organized and I can grab stuff easy. Okay, so you're going to take your D-rings and you're going to slide them on up and into that center part that we just top stitched like so. And that is just so we do not forget to put them on because that is going to be what holds our crossbody strap on like this one. All right, let me see what's next.
I have to wind a bobbin.
You have to wind a bobbin? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so now we are jumping down. Where are we? Let me find it. So we haven't done the front zipper panel yet. We will do that last. So I'm skipping over that. We already attached the back zipper panel. Okay, so step 12, we are going to make some measurements. So on our back zipper panel here, this is why I haven't attached the other side. You want to take your lining and you want to fold it out of the way. We do not want to accidentally sew through this. So I'm just going to kind of fold it under and out of the way and hold it out of the way with a clip. Because we do not want to sew through this. We're only going to be sewing through that exterior panel. No lining to be caught in this. So this is what that looks like. Okay. And I'm going to have it so it's facing to the back. We want to measure. There's a measurement in step 12. From this long side, we want to measure in by that much and make a mark. Make a mark right there. And you want to do that on both sides. Just like so. Okay. Now we want to take our handle piece and we want to make some marks as well. And so that is in step 13. And make marks. There's 3 marks we're going to make there. So you're going to go ahead and do that. You still want to have that mark that we made before. So do that one on each side. And then that much. And then that much. And all of this is going to hold everything in with top stitching. Just like that. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to use some double-sided tape here. Now we want to be careful that we do not, what am I doing here? Let me double check something. That's right. Just trying to make, we want to make sure we're going to be having our tape here. Did I mark one too many marks? Oh, our D-ring is going to go between here and here. I'm just trying to see where she has us top stitching this. Okay. This is where it gets a little bit confusing, trying to figure out, okay, it's going to go like this. Okay. So the way you kind of situate these is our D-ring is going to be sitting, it's going to be sitting here and here. Where is it sitting? Grab handle 4. Okay. We want to make sure we don't put double-sided tape between the two on the end. So this is to hold it in place. Again, read the instructions very carefully here because you really do not want to mess this up. So I'm going to put a little bit on this end here. I'm going to make sure it doesn't extend past that line. And then in this middle section here, we're going to put some more. That's right. Just like that. Same with the other side. So some right along the bottom. Make sure we're not going to be putting it in between these lines. You can put it in between these next lines here. Don't want it to go past. Okay. All right. Make sure your D-rings don't fall off. Make sure your lining is flipped out of the way. I'm going to start with one side first. Okay. So I'm going to stick this down. Is that the piece I want to stick down first? Like so, right at that line that we drew. The first thing we are going to do, it almost lines up perfectly with our top stitching, is to that first line, we're going to go ahead and we're going to top stitch with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance down and across, creating another little box there. Do not go into this box. And then I'll come back to the table and show you the next step just so it doesn't get confusing. So we're just working with one side. We're not worrying about that other side just yet. Go ahead and just stitch up here, across here, and down here, making sure your D-rings are just hanging out here. Okay. I know it sounds confusing, but it really isn't that bad. It's just a matter of wrapping your head around what we're doing because it's something new and different. So, okay. How do I want to do this? Okay. Again, make sure you're not sewing through your lining. That's out of the way. So you're going to sew up to that first line, needle down and pivot around, sew across, like so, pivot around, and sew back down. Okay. That's what that looks like. So you have 2 rows of top stitching and you've gone across. Now what we want to do is we want to pull this D-ring down nice and snug against that stitching we just did. Then you can take that other double-sided tape off like so. Lay it nice and straight and flat along, kind of lining up with that top stitching. Again, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to top stitch with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance up this side, across, down, and then across this line. And then that's going to leave this area here. And then we're going to repeat while we're at the machine, everything with the opposite side. You're going to see this is going to end up being pulled up like this, which is what creates our handle, and sticking it down. So it'll end up being kind of a 3D thing, making sure you pull your D-ring down. But we'll talk about that when we get there. We'll first go do this, and then we're going to do the same thing at the machine with the opposite side. All right. So decorative yet functional. You could also tie your threads to the back if you wanted to. Because this is going to be what's holding the crossbody strap, I just am doing back stitching because I think it just will hold it that little bit better. Again, making sure my lining is still up and out of the way. Up to that line that we drew, that second line. Pivot and across. Up to that line again. Other line. Turn and pivot. It's giving us nice boxes to do our rivets into. Sure don't lose that D-ring. Okay. And this is stitching that shows, so I'm going very slow and making sure it looks good, even though I'm fixing a mistake from when I did it. But I actually took quite a wide seam allowance when I made my handle, so that's good. All right, so now you'll see my D-ring is secure in there. It's held with stitching. So we're going to do the same with the opposite side. So first off, I'm going to do this bottom part at the machine, line it up with that line that we drew, and this is going to bring our handle up. Line it up and top stitch that first box. Stick it down and top stitch. Where'd my line go? It disappeared. I just can see it. Okay. To that line, pivot. Cross. And down. Guess we kind of did this exact same thing when we did the Conan Bowler Bag Big Country Cow before too. Okay, so now you're going to take the D-ring, you're going to slide it up against that stitching, take the backing off of that tape, make sure it goes on nice and straight. And hopefully you can still see the lines that we drew, and we're going to go ahead and top stitch those lines in place. I did okay with my top stitching. That's good. Can't even tell I made a mistake. Perfect. Okay, so that's created our handle, and we have our D-rings all in place. We have our handle on the back. You can kind of see what we did with stitching like so. Now for homework, with that lining still out of the way, what you're going to do is you are going to put rivets in, and just like I've done on this one. So that is going to just make it so there's even more strength to make sure nothing tears with you, since this is going to be the crossbody strap. So like on this one, I'm going to put a rivet here. Again, we'll do this for homework. I just eyeball it. I'm going to put 2 in here. Is that what I did with this one? Sure did. 2 in there, like so. And same with the other side. So it's pretty much just going in those boxes we just sewn. And that's going to help strengthen that. I'm going to make sure I have them back to scraps of Decaville Heavy. You want to make sure this one isn't too far down, because this is going to end up being where we attach our gusset. So that'll be homework. Once you have those rivets in, you can go ahead and you can unhook this, and you can baste those raw edges together. And then you're going to go ahead and do the front zipper panel exactly like we did this back zipper panel, just not without the handle. And you can go ahead and baste that. And then that'll be it. And then I'll be putting it all together next week. Does that all make sense? I hope I didn't confuse anybody, did I? Is that good enough for homework? It's not too bad? I don't think so. Good. Yay, look, we took up almost the whole hour, so yay. So yeah, we got pretty much the whole exterior done except for that one half of the zipper panel, which you guys can do. I'm also going to ask that you do your lining pockets the way you want them. I'm only putting in one zipper pocket. I'm doing it with the overlay like I always do. I'm not putting in a slip pocket. I don't think I did that in this one. It's such a small bag that I don't think there's room for a lot of pockets, but yeah, no, I didn't do that in this one. I just put in that zipper pocket. So I'll be doing that zipper pocket again. That'll be for homework. So your lining pockets like you want them, do that, and your rivets, and put on the other half of your zipper panel. And then next week we're going to be golden for getting everything ready to go. Did you finish yours, Diane? No? Okay. I just saw a bag past your camera. I'm like,
oh, no, that was my green one.
I was going to say, if you finished it that fast, well, I'm like all slow today. Man, oh man.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It's right here. Look.
Yay, you're where I am too. I better push my lining out of the way so I remember where I'm at. I'll finish
but my
that
two
up.
pieces don't match.
What do you mean they don't match? Show me.
My front piece is longer than my back piece.
Oh. What seam allowance did you go in with your zipper?
1/4.
Well, compared to your lining piece, show you something. Where's my lining? Show you to figure out which one's right as soon as I can find my pieces. Okay, let me put this camera down. 1 sec. Oops, not that one. Okay, no, not that one. Here we go. Okay, so if you take your lining pattern piece,
Yeah.
line it up with the back, and that's the size it should be. They should be the same size as your lining piece. So when you look at yours, is one the right size? Your back one, or is that your?
That's my back one. It's shorter.
It's shorter.
So I'll have to redo.
Huh. All I can think is that the zipper seam allowance you went in, is it about a 1/4 inch out?
Get up.
Yeah. So maybe go in with maybe your seam allowance was a little bit too snug. Maybe go in with the scant seam allowance just to give it a little bit more room.
Okay.
But don't take apart the whole thing. Like just do like the top one.
Just do the top one?
Yeah.
But won't my top stitching show? But then my zippers won't be the same.
Oh, that's true too. Yes, you're right. Yeah. But your front panel matches. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's all I can think of. Or maybe it got cut a little odd or something like that. So if your seam allowance is right in here, because you can usually tell by measuring it. Your top panel, I'm going to do something here. Okay, so your top panel here, you put your ruler on it. Does it measure 2 3/4 from the zipper to the top?
Yep.
Does your bottom measure from your zipper to the bottom? Does it measure 4 1/2?
Yeah.
What?
It does.
Must be the zipper then.
What does your zipper measure? Mine measures 5/8 from like the crease to crease, from fold to fold.
Oh, okay. 4 and a little bit.
1,
Not
2,
5.
3, 4. But that's still only 1/8 of an inch off. Weird. I have no idea, Diane. That's just blank. And really, it's not the same.
Nope.
But your front panel's good.
I'll redo it.
When you're not looking at your lining side, your pocket part though, that is shorter.
Yes.
But if you put your front and back panels right sides together, they're not the same size.
No. See?
That's like a huge difference though.
I know. So maybe my front one's wrong.
Well, does your front one measure up with your pattern piece though?
Yes, with the lining, yes.
Yes, so that is the right size. Your front panel is correct. It's your back panel that is wrong.
I'll redo it.
Let me know if you figure out what it is, because that is a mystery to me. Because
it won't be tonight.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oops, wrong camera. I have no idea. No idea. Anybody else have any ideas? Weird. Yeah, no idea.
It's really strange that the top and bottom are the same measurements as yours.
Yeah.
2 3/4.
For the top.
And then 4 1/2.
Yep.
Is that right up to the zipper teeth, Diane?
That's not the zipper teeth. Mine is from the fold.
The fold, yeah.
Okay.
From the zipper teeth, mine is 4 3/4.
Yes, mine too.
Weird. I don't know. The math doesn't.
To the top.
Zipper teeth to the top, I am 1, 2, 3 inches.
I'm about 1/8 out.
That's not that huge difference. That
No. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That is going to drive me insane. Reach out to me and let me know what you figure out, because that doesn't make any sense at all.
No, I know.
But yeah, you definitely want them to be the same size. I was going to say if it had been larger, you would just trim it up, right? But
yeah,
yours isn't larger. You want it to be the same size as this lining piece.
Yeah.
Because we're going to end up putting the linings and the exteriors wrong sides together. So weird. Weird.
Weird.
To be the same size as your front.
The front is correct size. The front is the right size. She did.
Yeah, did you trim the front down?
No, because in the gusset won't fit.
Then everything else will be
all right.
Yeah, they have to be that size, otherwise your gusset will be too big, right?
I'll redo it.
Okay.
At least
this
it's
won't take as much.
yeah. Weird. Because all your measurements are the same.
Yeah. Doesn't it think that you should have to redo it if all the measurements are adding up?
But it's shorter.
Weird. Weird. I don't know. I have no answers. I don't know.
Brandy, measure the entire the entire pattern piece for your back.
For my back, and then I will put it in the chat to tell you what it is, Diane, because I can't share that. Bear with me. And those who are watching this after, this is why we do live classes. Okay, I'm gonna message you here. That is my back. I sent it to you.
Mine is about 1/8 difference shorter.
But 1/8 doesn't make any.
I know.
Okay, Diane, I'm going to show you something. When you're putting it back to back, you are having it up and down like this and like this. You don't have it going like this, do you?
No.
Because that makes it shorter. Put them side to side like this for me.
Do you use it sideways?
No.
Let's see. Put them side by side for me. And talk so you go on the big screen.
Just like that. And if I match my centers.
What?
I don't know.
So I was thinking that if you had them going, like, if you had one sideways, then that looks like it's that much off. But
I had it the right way.
I want to solve the mystery.
I'll redo it. We'll figure it out.
Maybe just to be extra careful, do you want to print out that one pattern piece one more time just to make sure that it.
But I've already made it once.
And it never had the issue?
No. It was fine. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't.
Mystery.
It's a mystery.
Leave it to me. Right? Leave it to me.
So here's homework for Diane for next week, is to educate us what she did wrong for it not to match. So we all know not to do it, because I have no idea.
It looks perfect.
Diane?
Yes.
Measure your front from top to bottom.
Yeah. It's exactly like the pattern. Like my lining.
And it's that measurement that I sent you?
No, it's about a quarter. It's a quarter more.
It is. I am looking at that. Yeah. It is. So you will want it to match up to your.
Be about right.
Yeah. I'm measuring mine. No, yeah, that's right. The linings are a little bit bigger, but that's because I got to go around the interfacing, right? So they do have a little bit more give, because when you put them to the back, they kind of billow out a little bit, but not that.
Yes, but my front is the same as my lining.
Yep, my front and my back are the same as my lining.
Okay, I'll redo the back. I'll let you know.
Yeah, because it's out more than 1/8 of an inch. It's like a 1/4 of an inch or more, isn't it?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let us know.
Which is right if I measure it with the pattern.
Weird. I don't know. I don't know. Mine fits in there perfect. It fits in perfect. Perfect. I have no idea. I can't help you. I feel bad.
Well, don't feel bad.
I was gonna
I
say,
think so, something right.
I kind of wish that the back panel was too big because you can just trim
Yes.
it, but it has to make it so they do match for sure.
Yes.
Otherwise, yeah.
So now when I do a new one, should I not take as much for my zipper then?
Maybe.
It sounds like that measurement is off though.
I know, that's what I
know.
don't understand.
How wide is your zipper? Like in between here, how wide is that?
Just slightly above 5/8 in between fold to fold.
Mine.
From fold to fold.
Maybe I cut one of my pieces out wrong. I don't know. I'll redo it.
Okay, let us know if it matches up. I love it. It's a conundrum. We will figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Blow up because it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Everything's measuring up.
I know.
I know, but it's not long enough.
Oi. I can't
Anyways.
get my brain around that.
I can't either.
It's too late to be. It's too late.
Too late to get my brain around that. Yep.
Too late.
Now,
to get my brain around
actually, Diane, if you wanted to, so another thing you could do without having to redo it is when and this is kind of jumping the gun a little bit, when you go to sew the gusset on, you could take you can kind of make up with it with the seam allowance, but that does get confusing. It is a super fast put together though. So.
It looks beautiful.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, on that note, we did manage to fill up that whole class plus 7 minutes with the mystery in the end. So, well, thank you so much, Diane, for sewing along with me today, Dawn for admitting, and Rhonda for hanging out in the chat, and whoever else is in YouTube land. And again, if you have any questions, please message me. But if you've done what Diane does, I can't help you. I have no idea.
Diane will help you.
Diane will help you. She's going to educate us next week and let us know what happened there. All right.
What I did.
Okay. So homework. Diane's redoing her back panel. Do your rivets. Do your front zipper panel, and then we're going to finish it up next week. So, all right.
Irene's here.
Pardon? Oh, hey, Irene. Irene, we're just about to sign off. So you'll have to watch back. Let me know if you are making this one down in the comments, Irene. We'd love to have you sewing along with us. Okay, I have to go make dinner. I forgot to take stuff out of the freezer, so I think we're having spaghetti and meatballs tonight. We're having something easy, and I will see probably most of you on Thursday. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Okay? Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye.